fight like a roaring fight, crypto and dreams under stadium lights, sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Evening sports buffet, with the Ginch we play. Highlights, wild scores collide, it's the riot live tonight. Blades drawn, bold
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
rivals clash, it's a heavyweight fight. Every second pounding, can't wait.
So, college football,
Evening sports buffet, with the
NBA's kicking off tomorrow.
highlights, wild scores
NASCAR's
collide,
winding
it's the
down.
riot live tonight.
Major League Baseball game 7 tonight.
Blades drawn, bold on the chalkboard
Blue Jays
slate,
Mariners.
rivals clash, it's a
Thank you to the Ginch Quartet there. Welcome to another of Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. I am Sid Ginch. Ryan Neff, your host. Coming up at 7:30, Phil Martelli, the coach, former coach at St. Joseph's University. He was an assistant at Michigan. You can see him working Fox games for college basketball, amongst other things. I'll be picking his brain all things basketball. And also P&J Enterprises. I have to hit him up about that, see what that's all about. I've been reading about it. Inspiring change through powerful presentations. But did you enjoy this weekend's sports action? Again, the Dodgers are waiting. Game 7 tonight, Mariners, Blue Jays, the deciding factor. Blue Jays favored in this game, if you're wondering. Total runs, 7.5. Well, what did we witness this weekend? I'm just going to jump to the NFL. I'm not going to go over statistics and stuff like that. I will save that tomorrow for end zone to end zone. It kicked off Thursday. The Bengals beat the Steelers 33-31 in a shootout. Bengals were up 17-10 at the half. Steelers made it a game. Both defenses stink. Both defenses are bad. What are you going to say? Plenty of offense, don't get me wrong. But the defense were pungent. So the Bengals win 33-31. The Bengals now are 3-4 overall. Steelers 4-2. Sunday's action, Rams beat the Jaguars 35-7. It wasn't close, by the way. Jaguars, I don't know what to tell you. Jaguar fans. People are saying Trevor Lawrence is a bust. Not really sure he's had all the pieces around him. Brian Thomas Jr. is a good receiver, but who else on the receiving corps scares you? I would say Travis Etienne hasn't really stepped up to the plate. And their offensive, defensive lines are suspect. I said before the season started, the Rams, I felt, were built to take on the Eagles, their biggest threat. Some people will still say the Lions or the Packers, or I think the Rams when healthy, and hopefully Bill will not be out too long, but I still think that the Rams pose the biggest threat to the Eagles. Rams won 35-7 over there in London. Again, NFL, stop with the overseas shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about American football over there, period. Most of the fans are fans of the teams. They don't care. It's English Premier League season over there. They don't care about American football. Bears beat the hapless Saints 26-14. Wasn't close. I think Kellen Moore probably should have stayed. He's probably rethinking his decision. to be the coach of the Saints. Again, I was watching the Red Zone plus checking some other stuff out, and the game wasn't close. It was 20-7 at the half. I don't think the Saints ever really threatened if you actually watch the game. So they went 26-14. The Bears, surprisingly, 4-2. The Saints are 1-6. In a game that somebody had to win to get off the schneid, the Browns took the Dolphins behind the woodshed. They win 31-6. Dolphins are a mess. The furthering of the implosion. The game was never close. Just turmoil in Miami. After last week's loss, Tua calls out his teammates publicly. He apologizes, and then he throws 3 interceptions yesterday. Still there. If anybody watched his post-game presser, he looked exhausted. He looked confused. Didn't know what to say. But the Dolphins, let's be blunt, they stink. Browns improved to 2-5. The Dolphins are 1-6. Shining up those golf clubs. One of the surprises of the season, the Patriots beat the Titans 31-13. Titans, another hapless team who stink. Patriots win 31-13. Drake May, I was high on Drake May coming out of college. I was high on Jackson Dart this year coming out of college. There are certain instances where I am wrong. Didn't think Bo Nix would be all that good, although this year he's struggling. Didn't think Jaden Daniels would be all that good. I was wrong, and now he's hurt. But the Patriots with the win on the road, 31-13. Patriots 5-2 overall. And the Titans getting ready for the holidays, I suppose. They're 1-6. My Chiefs beat the Raiders 31-0. Raiders, another team that stink. It was a drubbing. Raiders couldn't do squat. Kenny Pickett had to come in for the Raiders. Geno Smith is not the answer at quarterback there. Sure, Pete Cowher's wondering what the hell he's doing coming back. But it was a drubbing. Saints are 4-3. The Raiders are 2-5. I'm not going to get overly excited about my Chiefs just yet. I still need to see it consistently. They put together 3 good wins, but they're only 4-3. Eagles-Vikings. Eagles win on the road 28-22. Vikings tried to come back, made a game of it, but to no avail. Eagles got back to what they do best. Run the football, spread it around. A good road win for them, 28-22. Eagles are 5-2 overall. The Vikings are 3-3. Jets fans, I don't know what else to tell you. Justin Field got benched. Garrett Wilson didn't start. Is Aaron Glenn going to make it through the season as the Jets coach? I don't know. I really don't. Game was hard to watch. It was kind of pathetic on both ends of the spectrum. The Jets just, they're bad. Like, they're really bad. But the Panthers with the win 13-6. The Panthers now in 3. Their first road win of the year. Surprisingly 4-3, to be quite honest with you. Jets are 0-7. In a what the fuck game of the week, Broncos came all the way back in the fourth quarter, beat the Giants 33-32. Question: how in the fuck do you allow a team to score 33 points in the fourth quarter in the NFL? I've never seen that before. Giants had the game in hand. I don't think they took the foot off the gas. They just got lackadaisical, complacent. But that's bad. That's really bad. 33-32, 33 points in the fourth quarter. That should never happen, period. Broncos are 5-2. The Giants fall to 2-5, and they're 0-4 away from home. I don't know how they're going to recover from that. Colts beat the Chargers 38-24. The Chargers really miss Marion Hampton, by the way. The Colts for real? I don't know. They're 6-1. Another good feel story. The book is still open on the Colts for me. Talk to me after Thanksgiving. Do I think the Chargers will be okay? They need to get a Marion Hampton back. Because when the Chargers can't run the football and Herbert's throwing the ball over the place, they're not gonna win many games. The Colts are 6-1 overall. The Chargers 4-3. The Cowboys beat the Commanders. Jaden Daniels got knocked out of the game with the hammy. Right now, Dallas, their offense is performing at a high level. Their defense still stinks, though. Still stinks. But look, good division win for Dallas. They win 44-22. Dallas is 3-3 overall. The Commanders are 3-4. The Green Bay Packers came back and beat the Cardinals. The Jacoby Brissett-led Cardinals. Looked like the Cardinals had it in the bag, but then the Cardinals do Cardinal-type things. The Packers come back and win 27-23 on the road. Packers now 4-1-1 overall. Cardinals 2-5. I thought maybe the Cardinals would push for a wild card this year, but in the game last night, which was kind of boring, I fell asleep to it. Good sedative. 49ers hold on to win at 20-10. I try to tell people just put the kibosh on the Falcons right now. Again, another team I still need to see consistently out of. The 49ers are 5-2, and the Falcons 3-3. Let's check out the standings after week 7. In the AFC East, right now, the Patriots on top of the 5-2 record. Bills are 4-2, Dolphins 1-6, Jets 0-7. Right now, it's going to come out of the Patriots and the Bills, unless the Dolphins and the Jets do something miraculous. In the AFC North, Pittsburgh's still on top 4-2. Bengals are 3-4, the Browns are 2-5, and the Ravens are 1-5. Could be one of those years where the Ravens are going to have to just forget. AFC South, the Colts surprisingly 6-1. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 4-3. Texans 2-3. Tennessee Titans. And out in the AFC West, the Broncos are 5-2. The Chargers and the Chiefs both 4-3, and the Raiders. NFC East, the Eagles are 5-2. The Cowboys 3-1. Commanders 3-4, and the GI Ants 2-5. NFC North, the Packers are 4-1-1. Detroit's 4-2. The Bears are 4-2, and the Minnesota Vikings are 3-3. One of probably the most competitive division in football right now. NFC South, the Buccaneers 5-1. Panthers are 4-3. Falcons 3-3. The Saints. In the NFC West, 49ers, Rams are 5-2. The Seahawks are 4-2, and the Cardinals are 2-5. Again, first pitch tonight, Major League Baseball at 8:10. Early score, ladies and gentlemen. NFL. Detroit up on Tampa Bay 7-0. That's early in the first quarter. Touchdown scored on a pass from Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown for 27 yards. I picked the Lions to win this game. So they're up early. Some news and notes from around the world in sports today. Ex-Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Doug Martin died in custody after a break-in, police say. This is reported by ESPN. It was following an incident at a residence in Oakland, California, police confirmed. Says here, Oakland police reported that officers responded to a call about a break-in just after 4:15 a.m. Saturday and encountered. Prior to his death, Martin was involved in a break-in at a residence in Oakland, according to a statement from the Oakland Police Department. While responding, officers were attempting to detain him. A brief struggle occurred. After being taken into custody, Martin became unresponsive. Paramedics responded to the scene, provided medical aid, and transported Martin to a local hospital, where he later died, unfortunately. I'm sure more details will come out. You never like to see stuff like that. Thoughts and prayers to his family and friends. The Denver Broncos' Dre Greenlaw, he has been suspended for one game for conduct toward the ref. According to the NFL statement, Greenlaw chased after referee Brad Allen and verbally threatened him as he tried to leave the field. That's not good. I'm sure he'll appeal it, but if you're threatening refs, probably going to stick. The suspension would cost him a game checking amount of $193,000. Dan Quinn said that Jaden Daniels' hamstring injury is not significant. He was supposed to have an MRI today. Don't know what that showed. Brian Daboll came out today and said no staff changes are made after a mile-high collapse. You might want to start with the head coach. Again, how in the hell do you let the team come back and score 33 points in the fourth quarter? Doesn't make sense. Lamar Jackson will still be out. Ravens return from their bye. Ravens season's for the most part done. You can just stick a fork in and twist it. Now the NBA kicks off tomorrow. I'm sure you all NBA jabrones are happy about that. NHL. Let's start going over the standings, shall we? Because we're about 6-7 games in. Excuse me. Out there in the Eastern Conference in the Atlantic Division, Detroit is on top with 10 points. They're 5-1. The Canadians are second at 4-2. They're 8 points. Maple Leafs third, 3-2-1, 7 points. The Panthers and the Bruins are both 3-4, 6 points respectively. Sabres are 2-3 with 4 points. The Senators are 2-4 with 4 points, and the Lightning 1-3-2 with 4 points. In the Metropolitan, the Carolina Hurricanes off to a tremendous start, 5-0, 10 points. Devils are second at 4-1, 8 points, as long as with the Penguins and Capitals are also 4-2, 8 points. Rangers fifth, 3-3-1, 7 points. The Flyers sixth, 2-2-1, 5 points. The Jackets and the Islanders seventh and eighth, respectively, with 4 points. Western Conference in the Central, the Avalanche on top, 5-0-1, 11 points. Jets are in second place, 4-1, 8 points. As well are the Mammoth and the Blackhawks, 8 points apiece. Blue Stars, Preds, all with 6 points. The Minnesota Wild in last with 5 points. In the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights on top, 4-0-2, 10 points. The Kraken are second, 3-0-2, 8 points, along with the Canucks, who are 4-2 with 8 points. The Anaheim Ducks are 2-2-1, 5 points. The Edmonton Oilers are 2-3-1, 5 points. The Kings, 6th, 1-3-2, 4 points. Sharks and the Flames, both with 2 points apiece. Just a couple games on the slate today. In the first, the Wild and the Rangers are tied at 1 apiece. Also in the first, the Kraken up on the Flyers, 1-0. Later on, Sabres, Canadiens, Jets at the Flames, Hurricanes at the Golden Knights. English Premier League. If I can get to it here. That's really the only soccer league I cover because it seems to be the most popular across the globe. Again, if I were to go through every division in European soccer, I'd be here till midnight. So, this past weekend, though, Chelsea beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. Brighton beat Newcastle 2-1. Burnley beat Leeds 2-0. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth 3-3 draw. Man City over Everton 2-0. Sunderland over Wolverhampton 2-0. And Arsenal beat Fulham 1-0. Excuse me. Yesterday, Aston Villa beat Tottenham 2-1. Man United beat Liverpool 2-1. And then today, Brentford beat West Ham 2-0. Let's go to the standings, or as they call them, tables over there. Arsenal right now on top. They're 6-1-1, 19 points. Man City second, 16 points. Bournemouth and Liverpool, respectively, 15 points. Chelsea, Tottenham, and Sunderland, in that order, 14 points apiece. In eighth is Crystal Palace with 13 points. Man United is ninth with 13 points. Brighton is 10th with 12 points. Aston Villa is 11th with 12 points. And so on and so forth. Right now, at the bottom of the table, the bottom three are Nottingham Forest, West Ham, and Wolverhampton. In the world of NASCAR, if you were fortunate to watch the race yesterday, Chase Briscoe won the race yesterday. So he punches his ticket to Phoenix for the championship. I'm looking at the results from yesterday. Yes, there are 2 races left. For some reason, it won't let me look at. Oh, here we go. The race results. As soon as they pop up here. Chase Elliott with a bad race. He finished 40th. Justin Haley, 39th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 38th. AJ Allmendinger, 37th. Noah Gregson, 36th. Eric Jones, 35th. Armstrong Sindrick, 34th. Josh Berry, 33rd. Riley Herbst, 32nd. Cody Ware, 31st. Chris Buescher, 30th. Alex Bowman, 29th. BJ McLeod, 28th. Austin Dillon, 27th. Kyle Larson, 26th. William Byron, 25th. Denny Hamlin, 24th. Ryan Blaney, 23rd. Austin Hill, 22nd. Anthony Alfredo, 21st. Ty Dillon, 20th. Kyle Busch, 19th. Casey Mears, 18th. Michael McDowell was 17th. Joey Logano, 16th. Ryan Preece, 15th. John Hunter Nemechek was 14th. Ross Chastain, 13th. Daniel Suarez, 12th. Shane Van Gisbergen, 11th. Brad Keselowski, 10th. Zane Smith, 9th. Christopher Bell, 8th. Tyler Reddick, 7th. Carson Hocevar, 6th. Cole Custer, 5th. Bubba Wallace, 4th. Ty Gibbs, 3rd. Todd Gilliland, 2nd. And Chase Briscoe, excuse me, your winner. So where does that leave us as far as the playoffs go, as far as the standings? And I'm looking for those right now. Steve, from what I remember, obviously Chase Briscoe punches his ticket to Phoenix. Denny Hamlin has also punched his ticket to Phoenix. Yes, I'm still looking for the playoff scenario here. Chase Briscoe's first, Denny Hamlin's second, Christopher Bell's third, Kyle Larson is fourth. Right now, the drivers on the outside looking in: William Byron's fifth, Joey Logano sixth, Ryan Blaney seventh, Chase Elliott eighth. Those four drivers are probably going to need to win the next race. I think they're at New Hampshire. Sorry, they're at Martinsville. Yes, they're at Martinsville. So one of those two or one of those four is going to have to win to get in to knock either Bell or Larson out. Martinsville's short track. It's usually Denny Hamlin's track. Short track specialists will prevail, but that's where we stand there. So we've got Martinsville and then the final race at Phoenix for the championship. Still 7-0 Lions in a second. Detroit has the ball in their own end. But again, when you look at this weekend's action, in today's NFL, you cannot tell which team's going to show up week in and week out. You can't do it. You used to be able to way back when, not anymore. Teams in today's NFL are just way too Jekyll and Hyde. I think fantasy football's taken some fun out of it. I think Facebook and DraftKings have taken some fun out of it. Because you just don't know week in and week out, period. You can't tell. Can't tell. That's why I let the games play out. I was on social media yesterday. I was following Twitter and like seeing some of the people's comments when the Giants were up big. Oh, Giants are great. They're a fantastic team. They're beating the hell out of the Broncos. They're a really good football team. Let the games play out in any sport. I've seen too much over the years to say, "Oh, that's over. This game's over. They're up 28-0. It's over." It's never over until it's the end of the game, and that clock reads 0-0-0. And those same people that were talking about the Giants yesterday about being a good team, they disappeared. And it's any sport. I've seen too much over the years in baseball, football, basketball, whatever it is. You just have to let it play out all the way to the end. Now it's 50-0 in the fourth quarter, and there's like 5 minutes left. It's over. But I'm still, how the hell do you let somebody score 33 points in the fourth and then wind up losing? Again, when it comes to the NFL, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, you could talk about the Bills and the Oilers way back in the 92-93 season in the playoffs when Buffalo was down 35-3, and then Buffalo stormed back to win it. I think it was 41-38, but that was in the whole second half, the third and fourth quarters, not 33 points in the fourth, which is horrible, by the way. It's just horrendous. It's horrible. You're up 18-0 or 26-0 or whatever the hell the score was. No team in the NFL should be able to score 33 points in one quarter and then lose. I see him in the green room. He's adjusting his camera, ladies and gentlemen. Before I bring him on, though, I've got to do it upright. He'll probably recognize this. Because he is a Widener. Bring him on. There he is, the coach, Bill Martelli. Coach, thanks for coming on.
I'm glad to be there, be with you, and far from a Widener legend. I'm delighted to be a Widener graduate.
There you go. So where do I start? Let me pick your brain about. I host a college football show Monday nights. NIL, the transfer portal, the whole 9 yards. I'm always interested to see what people say. Now, you coached obviously in a different era at St. Joe's. Now the whole NIL, the transfer portal. I know how it's changed college football. How's it changed college basketball?
Well, it's changed a sport that was transformational in a lot of ways and relationship driven in every single way, and it's taken it to transactional. Doesn't have to be at every program, but it's transactional, and it's also fed, in my opinion, so much, not just misinformation, but maybe disinformation, and that people don't understand. The house settlement is different than NIL, right? And so, in my world, in my worldly view of college basketball, the house settlement will eventually change the sport. There'll become more realignment. The haves there'll be fewer haves, but they're going to move away. And I think at some point in time, hopefully we're around long enough to see it, just so that we're alive for it. But I think you're going to see a movement to some kind of European soccer model, and that the schools will still be represented. The players will be playing for the club, basically. And then the NCAA and the entity that is educationally driven will give these kids public speaking so they know how to do that, contract negotiation, marketing, financial literacy, and they will not get the traditional liberal arts degree. The tournament will stay, but they will make the lower leagues earn their way in. They'll say, okay, we have 10 spots for you. We don't have the availability for 16 or 18 or 24 spots. but we do have 10. You figure out how you want to get to 10. So it's going to be different. I'm not saying better or worse. It's going to be hard, I think, for the fan to not turn in that Thursday and Friday of the NCAA tournament and say, man, I really hope this 15 beats the 2. Because the 15 now might be Mississippi State against Michigan. And that loses a little bit of what the beauty of that tournament is.
Are they student athletes anymore? Or are they pro? Or are they semi-pro athletes?
I think they're semi-pro athletes. Not at all schools. Not at all schools. But, and some of it, and I hate this. I hate this. We're still blaming everything in this country on COVID. But the change here due to COVID, where colleges recognized we can, quote unquote, educate people and they don't have to be in a classroom. Right? The article about Drew Aller, I think 2 weeks ago, he said he arrives at the Penn State football building at 6:30 in the morning and he leaves at 8 o'clock at night. He takes one class. It's online. And there are other players, and I'm not naming guys, I'm not pointing fingers at guys. There are players that I know transferred to schools and they have no idea where the liberal arts building is. They took everything in their apartment or in with an academic support person. That's not the college experience. So I think college is about socially growing, academically growing, and as a player in any sport growing. We've cut out that part where they are actually part of the school, and that's sad to me.
As far as rankings go, Phil, I've said this before and I'll say it again as a college football buff. I think if publications want to come out with their preseason rankings, fantastic. I just don't think the AP and the coaches poll have any use anymore. I think we should get rid of them. Just let the season play out. And if the committee wants to rank the teams accordingly, so be it. Because as far as college football goes, the rankings mean nothing. Because after the first week, it changes. After the second week, it changes, and so forth and so forth. How you feel
Excuse me.
Yep.
And tell me how a preseason ranking, when the most ardent of fan doesn't know who's on his team. In college basketball, there are any number of teams with 8, 9, 10 new players. So how can that team be judged? You've never seen them play together. In a lot of cases, you've never seen that individual play. But yet, what it once did was created a lot of conversation. That's what it once did. Right. I don't, because what did it do? It drove newspaper sales. People wanted to get to USA Today and find out where they were ranked, right? Well, I can't remember the last time I saw a newspaper. That's sad for me because I'm a newspaper guy. I love having it in my hand. But, and we could go down the rabbit hole of like, seriously, there's somebody out there that thinks they can rank high school basketball players. Well, this kid's 73rd. Based on what? Based on what? Because he told you who he was recruiting and you slid him in there. You haven't seen the kid play. So I couldn't agree with you more. And certainly the system now is that committee has all the power and they never take a peek.
Yeah. So you coached at St. Joe's like forever. What does NIL and the transfer portal mean for schools like St. Joe's?
Well, not just specific to St. Joe's because people will get upset, but I'll say the Philadelphia area schools. I believe they're still chasing ghosts. I think they think if they put a lot of money into it or what they think is a lot of money, then they're going to be on equal footing with Maryland or they're going to be on equal footing with Pitt if you're a school in Pittsburgh, let's say Duquesne.
Right.
Those schools, because of football, have so much more money and so much more opportunities that when you raise it, you raise your money, right? You can raise 20.5, you can pay your players 20.5 million. None of our schools in Philadelphia can afford that. It's not sustainable, and it's not a one-time thing where they can do it. So if we look at it that way and now turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to go old school on you. I'm going to build my program on trust. I'm going to ask you to trust me that I can make you a better player. I'm going to ask you to trust me that I'm going to put you on the road to college graduation. I'm going to put you. I want you to trust me that I'm going to prepare you to be a professional player in the NBA or wherever it is. I want you to trust me. I'm going to fill a locker room full of like-minded people. We're going to pursue championships. Because if you're playing college sports, if you're not pursuing championships, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into this. And you think, why did I give up Thanksgiving? Why did I give up spring break? Why did I give up my summer if you're
Right.
not pursuing championships? So then I turn it around and say, all right, I need to trust you on this. How much money does this mean to you? And if you say to me some astronomical figure, let's say you say $100,000, I'll say to you, good luck. I hope you get your $100,000. And I'm going to go get the next kid. I'm going to get 10 guys on my team that trust me, and we're going to be a better team rather than a well-paid 10 individuals. I do believe that for Philadelphia, and I've been accused of, Don Quixote and all that other stuff. But if you just keep chasing the money, the big boys are just going to keep raising the money because they don't want you at their table.
Right.
That's how I feel about our local schools.
A couple more things. I'll get you out of here. I was looking at the AP top 25 in college basketball for this year. Look, it's going to be the same players: Purdue, Houston, Florida, UConn, St. John's, Duke, Michigan. It's the same blue bloods. I don't know if there's really a dark horse anymore. I used to follow college basketball religiously. I don't follow it as much anymore. It has to be a really good game on, and I used to be a college basketball fanatic. When you look at the landscape of college football or college baseball or baseball, listen to me, college basketball this year, what say you about when you look at Purdue? They seem to be the favorite. You got Houston have a lot coming back. UConn, St. John's. I mean, it's going to be the same blue bloods as it was last year.
Sure. That's the case. I mean, your use of the word blue blood is real, and they go in. Now, when you say to me about an individual team, Purdue has the jockey in Matt Painter,
Right.
wonderful man, terrific coach, great offensive concepts, and they have the jockey on the floor in Brandon Smith. So if he's the best point guard in America, and you have one of the best coaches in America, yeah, I like their chances. I don't think anybody anywhere in this country should minimize the chances at St. John's. The names may have changed on the players, but you have Rick Pitino, who is flat out coaching a semi-professional team in New York. So you have the biggest of cities with the biggest of personalities, and he also has this measuring stick now, if you will, in the Big East. Like he can measure himself against Connecticut. Why? Well, they've won 2 national championships recently. So without even knowing his players and recognizing that at one of these meaningless exhibition games the other day, he was trailing Towson 27-21. I'm going to keep a real close eye on Rick Pitino and St. John's.
And then the last thing, talked about P&J Enterprises. I was looking it up online. I went to the website. What does P&J Enterprises mean to you?
Well, it's Phil and Judy Enterprises. And what happened when I was coaching at St. Joseph's, I was getting a lot of opportunities for public speaking. And in most cases, when people were offering an honorarium, I would not take the honorarium. I would take whatever they were going to give me and present it to Coaches versus Cancer, which after my family and my teams, that was my driving force to crush cancer. When I came home after retiring from Michigan, when I came home, I started a Make a Difference public speaking, but it's P&J Enterprises that is really the presenter of my Make a Difference speaking tour. I have a coaching academy where I go around and I teach young coaches how to run a practice, not how to run a game, but how to run a practice. So P&J is involved in that. It was sports enterprises. Now I'm more interested in the enterprises part of it to say I I appreciate everybody recognizing me as a basketball coach, but that's what I did. That's not who I am. And I feel that through P&J Enterprises, I can get into corporate world. I can get into the podcast world. I can get into the to speaking, and then also it's a way. If any television opportunities come along, so far I have Fox for this year. I'm hoping on ESPN. I have some ESPN Plus. I take everything through there for tax purposes. I know nothing about it. It's like I know nothing about college football. I know nothing about pro football. But if somebody wants to ask me a question, as you can tell, I'm not short on an opinion.
Yeah. Well, Phil, thanks so much for coming on. I know you're a busy man, so
Thank,
thanks again. Go
thank,
ahead.
thank you for the invitation. It means a lot to me that you would include me.
Thank you, Phil. And enjoy the basketball season, by the way.
Thank you. Bye now.
All right. That's Phil Martelli, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Phil Martelli. You know him as the St. Joseph basketball. Yes, and he was an assistant at Michigan. It's always good to. That's the first time he's been on, so it's always good to get somebody on here for the first time and pick their brain. So early in the second quarter, the Lions are still up on the Buccaneers 7-0. I thought maybe this would be more of a shootout, but it's not. So, and I'm just trying to see if there's any other updates as far as the game goes, and I don't see any. So, with all that being said, I'm going to end it here tonight. I was going to do student body right, a little bit under the weather right now. I might combine student body right and end zone to end zone tomorrow into one. Maybe take it from 8 o'clock to whenever. But as I end every show, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody. You might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second opportunity. And for God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling in whatever fashion, they're being bullied. If you just see them struggling in whatever way, if they're quiet and you know they're struggling, ask questions, inquire. You might not just be saving a life, you might be saving a lot of lives. So, excuse me. There's only one thing left to do, and that's for Dandy Don to take me out.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.